Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you enjoy this video at any point, please give the video a thumbs up. It helps share my videos with new audiences, and that would be greatly appreciated. Also, subscribe to the channel and ring the bell if you haven't already. So today I want to talk about Batman Arkham and whether or not the series will ever be continued. And by the way, this gameplay on the channel is courtesy of the Arkham channel. Thank you for allowing me to share your great gameplay of you murking all of these people in the bat tank, and then later we're going to see the Joker murk every Batman villain with a shotgun, so that will also be fun to watch. Okay, so let's talk about the topic for the video today, and that is whether or not the Batman Arkham series will ever be continued. And whenever I talk about Arkham, everybody says, hey, why are you talking about Arkham? Slick, it's over, man. Leave it in the past. It's 6 years ago, and there's never going to be another one. That's the most important thing that people say, in my view, is like, there's never going to be another Arkham game. And it's like, how do you figure that? Because Rocksteady told us that there wasn't? The same people that also told us that the Arkham Knight wasn't Jason Todd? Like, do you really believe, and this is not just a roast at Rocksteady, I mean, do you really think that devs even know that long ahead? Like, of course the plan is, at this point, I totally can see this. The plan is to never make another Arkham game. Sure. So I'm not saying that Rocksteady's lying or anything, or that they're secretly planning an Arkham game and they, whatever. But what I'm saying is, like, your evidence for the fact that there will never be another Arkham game ever is that they said that there wasn't. Do you understand how media companies create hype for things? The first thing that they do is they say, this is totally the end of it. We're never getting another game. We're never getting another movie or season of the show or whatever. And then there's this huge public outcry and demand, which, by the way, is free PR for the company. People saying, bring this thing back. We want this thing. And what do you think WB is going to do with, let's say, Gotham Knights sells subpar or Suicide Squad sells subpar? And I think that there's a very reasonable chance that both of those games actually sell less than Batman Arkham Knight. Their card up their sleeve is that name Arkham. Like, that is their moneymaker right there. They could literally just print money if they release another game with that title. And let's look at the animated series. Look at in other areas of television, not just superheroes. Obviously, in case you're unaware, Batman the Animated Series is being, rebooted in a sense. Harry Potter. Everybody said that Harry Potter was going to be done. J.K. Rowling said, I'm never writing another Harry Potter book. And then, of course, now she did Fantastic Beasts and is doing more with the franchise in the future. 24 get another series. Full House, the Ratchet and Clank video game series. And this happens all the time in comic books where they say, the Dark Knight Returns. This is the only thing that we're doing. Frank Miller's like, I'm never writing another Batman book again. And then literally when Rebirth happened 3 years ago, he did a sequel to The Dark Knight Returns in an installment franchise for comics. So this happens all the time in entertainment. And the thing that I don't know is when the series will be continued. I can't tell you that. I can't tell you if it's going to be in 3 to 5 years, which is hopeful, I guess, not necessarily likely. But would be the contingency plan if, say, Suicide Squad or Gotham Knights did not sell well. That would be the contingency plan, and I would bet money that we would get an Arkham game in the next 3 to 5 years in that case. If the games sell fine, then it's probably going to be more like 10 to 15 years after some nostalgia has built up for the franchise. But I do feel very strongly that there most certainly will be another Batman Arkham game, probably in the next 15 years at the very latest, 10 to 15 years at the very latest, and potentially in the next 3 to 5, even though it's not announced at this point and maybe not even planned. The thing is that the Arkham franchise is so renowned and so revered, and even when I compare to other superhero video game franchises, and I don't mean to get into any Marvel vs. DC war or whatever, my general feeling is that the Arkham games are actually more highly revered than Spider-Man PS4 from Insomniac. Even though Spider-Man PS4 sold better than Batman Arkham, which is quite impressive because Spider-Man PS4 was on one console, whereas Batman Arkham Knight was on PC. Granted, all the PC copies were refunded mostly, and then PS4 and Xbox One. So it's not really a fair comparison because most of the sales of this game, around 75%, were on PS4. But anyway, okay, I'm getting into the weeds. This is not relevant to this commentary. When you really look at it, there is this really strong reverence and nostalgia for this franchise, and I see it to this day, where you can make videos on any topic on this franchise. It doesn't matter how old. It doesn't matter that Arkham City came out a decade ago. Like, people still love it, and people still love to talk about it. My general feeling is that the reverence for this game franchise is incredibly high. And as a result of that, there's going to be pressure that mounts in the next 5 to 10 years of people calling for Batman Arkham games. Because here's the interesting thing, is that in the last 3 years, all that we've seen is what? On Twitter and in my YouTube comments and everybody else's YouTube comments. Oh my God, leave Arkham alone. Stop. We're so tired of seeing Batman. And why does Batman have to be in every game? And, we need to do other things. And now, of course, Rocksteady and W Montreal are doing other things. And I guarantee you, I would bet you $1 million that in 3 to 5 years, probably 3 or 4 years, this sentiment is going to flip 180. And we're going to be getting a Suicide Squad game. We're going to be getting Gotham Knights, and everybody's going to be saying like, oh my God, what would be great if we got another Arkham game, or, if we got another Batman standalone game, and we need to do this and that. And I guarantee you that's what's going to happen, which is, I'm not complaining or praising this or saying it's good or bad. Personally, I would love to see another Batman Arkham game, but that's just me. Some people will say that that's terrible and we should make other games. So right now, the prevailing viewpoint of the community is leave Batman alone, do other things, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're literally exactly doing that. Gotham Knights doesn't have Batman in it, and Suicide Squad has nothing to do with the Batman universe at all. Besides the fact that it's connected to Batman Arkham, but beyond that, Batman is not really going to be in it much, if at all. So, anyways, given that context, right now everybody's saying, "Oh, no more Batman. We need to focus on other things," and then they're going to make other things, and then everybody's going to be like, damn, remember Arkham though? Everyone's going to be like, Arkham was so good, huh? So, and that's not fans being hypocritical. I'm not saying fans are hypocritical in any way. It's just the prevailing winds in the community and the way things are. Because right now, everyone's like, okay, we got 4 Batman games in a row. Let's do something else. And then they're going to do something else. And everyone's going to be like, damn, those Arkham games were great though, huh? Like, what if we got another one of those? So, right now everybody's saying no more Arkham, but I think that's going to change pretty quickly, if I'm being honest with you, after Suicide Squad and Gotham Knights. So it still remains to be seen if Batman has any role in Gotham Knights. Of course, the public story is that he does not. We'll see if that's actually the case, but I really don't think that Gotham Knights will sell as well as Arkham. I could be wrong. I really could be. I hope that I'm wrong, because I would love to see Gotham Knights sell and perform well. But WB is always going to look at Arkham as something that they can bring back at any point. There's any studio, if you would commission them, like let's say Rocksteady didn't want to do it. If you approach any third-party studio, almost all of them would say that they would do it because the foundation for the franchise is so strong. There's so much to do with it. Now, what would I advocate for if I were in charge of a 5th installment into the Arkham franchise? I can understand why some people would say, well, maybe there's not much to do with the franchise because they already did an origin story with Batman and the Joker in Arkham Origins. They already did, the Asylum story that was, very popular, of course, that everybody loves to see. They've already done the, whole Arkham Knight thing where you're exploring Gotham. So, like, what could they really do with the franchise? I think, to me, the answer is very simple. You would want to have Arkham Origins 2, which explores Batman acquiring the Bat family and growing the Bat family. So I'm generally not a fan of sequels, but I think that an Arkham Origins 2 game where, we get a true Bat family Arkham game would be something incredible that we've obviously never seen before and would be a huge hit. So that would include, for instance, Batman, finding Jason Todd early on in his career, Jason taking the wheels off of the Batmobile and then taking him under his wing and finding Dick Grayson and also meeting Batgirl, who, for those of you unaware, Batgirl became Batgirl herself. It was not like a Robin situation or a Jason Todd situation. Batgirl just became Batgirl on her own and then ran into Batman coincidentally anyways. She was obviously inspired by Batman's work though. So, I think that a game where Batgirl and Jason Todd and Dick Grayson are at the fore would be fascinating. And also just to see Batman kind of, in his prime. I guess their whole narrative is like, well, Batman was in his prime in Arkham Knight. That was like the peak of his career, if I recall. But I think that was more of a marketing ploy to make it seem like, oh, he had the most gadgets that he had. And he had the biggest Batmobile. And, he'd never had a Batmobile in Arkham City or whatever. But, I always am of the belief that Batman is at his prime when, really those first few years with the Bat family. Of course, I guess that's kind of the case in Arkham Knight because, Barbara Gordon is Oracle, I suppose, and Dick Grayson is Nightwing and everything like that. But I kind of feel like earlier into his career is more in his prime, so to speak, when all of the Bat family is in action, much more so. So, I would love to see a game like that. And also, the biggest area of improvement that they could make is expanding the size of Gotham and just making it like a more lived in and realistic world, because in Batman Arkham Knight, the game felt pretty dead in terms of the map. So, even just doing some of the things that they're doing in Gotham Knights with adding civilians and a day-night cycle and multiple nights and like all those things that we wanted for Batman Arkham and more Bat family interaction, I think a few of those things into Batman Arkham would be like a prime formula for success. And I would literally bet money that this is going to happen. Not that my particular game pitch, but another Batman Arkham game would happen. Because to me, I don't see any way in which they leave this series alone. As I said, when we look at the trends of entertainment where these series are being brought back to, kind of milk them for money. I don't know any other way to describe it. That's pretty much what's happening, which has kind of a negative connotation to it. I don't view it that way. Milk Arkham for money all you want. I love the franchise, so please do milk it for money. I don't view it as necessarily a bad thing. Now, where I think people view it as a bad thing and a negative thing is when these games are being made, like another Batman Arkham game, like our 5th or 6th Batman Arkham game, are being made when we still are not getting a Flash or Green Arrow game. So the key for Warner Brothers is diversification. They need to diversify and create a Flash game and a Green Arrow game and a Suicide Squad game and a Gotham Knights game with the Bat family. And then Batman games are going to play a key role in that because, the Batman Arkham games are the greatest video games ever made. And they're certainly the best superhero video games ever made by far. It's not even close. So when you compare Batman Arkham to other game franchises, it's really difficult to make a justification to neglect it. I mean, it really is just that good. And even weaker installments into the franchise narratively, like you could argue Arkham Knight, are still phenomenal, right? The gameplay is crisp. The game mechanics are fluid. The immersion is there. The Batman Arkham games are phenomenal. And, even moments like this that you're watching on your screen right now between Batman and the Joker, whilst, Arkham Knight was panned for its narrative, like that moment that you just witnessed is like incredible. You don't see moments like that in most video games, putting aside, The Last of Us and other video games like that are narratively driven, but really powerful moments throughout this game and a really powerful series that is impactful and memorable in so many ways. And, I really hope that they do continue it at some point. And I'm slightly perplexed by the feeling that, they should never make another Arkham game again. Again, I understand if you feel like these games are competing with the Flash and you feel like, we're just going to get 10,000 Arkham games but no Flash games. The real answer is that you can get both. And that's the direction that WB will want to go in if they really want to, maximize their video game expanded universe, which of course is something that Marvel's doing, DC's not doing as well. But I hope that they do in the coming years and that we do see another Batman Arkham game in the next couple of years. And again, I'd be very surprised if this franchise truly is dead forever and we never see another game again. I would happily bet money against anyone that we will be seeing another Batman Arkham game. Again, I can't say soon because that's a little bit too vague. I can't say that we'll get one in 3 years because it's going to take longer than 3 years just to develop it, and it's not in development to my knowledge, a new game. But I think after Gotham Knights and after Suicide Squad, there's going to be a serious evaluation of another installment in the Arkham franchise, and it wouldn't surprise me one bit. And I certainly hope that we get another Arkham game because this franchise is just too good to leave on the chopping block, I believe. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give the video a thumbs up. Let me know your thoughts on a new Batman Arkham game or if we will ever see one. I'm very curious to know your thoughts. If you disagree, that's totally fine. If you feel like you don't want to see another game and that the story should be left where it is, I also totally understand that. The trick is, of course, Rocksteady very much so intentionally left the game closed in terms of narratively with the ambiguous Nightfall protocol. I don't really foresee them exploring the Nightmare Bat. It doesn't seem likely to me, but it's certainly possible. but I more likely see some sort of prequel story or maybe some story in the distant future again, like they were doing with the Damian Wayne Batman game. So, I mean, that's the other thing, is that people forget, and I'll end on this note. Like, they already were trying to make another Batman Arkham game. I don't know if you guys are aware, but that's literally what W Montreal was doing. They were literally making a Batman game. Now, it didn't have Bruce Wayne in it, but the whole thing is that they were already trying to do this, to make another Batman game. So the notion that WB is somehow averse or doesn't want to make another Batman game is patently absurd. They were just making one as recently as 2 years ago. So we're definitely going to be seeing another Batman game in the imminent future, and I, for one, can't wait. And I'd love to know in the comment section below what you would like to see from that game. Whether you'd like it to be Arkham, whether you'd like to be out of the Arkham universe. Just love to know your thoughts in the comment section below. My name is Slick Muff. I'll see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it. And a shout out to my elite members, Best Detective 94, Q Comics, and That Kid Named Bart. Thank you guys. And if you want to become a member of the channel, it's only $5 a month and you get a bonus video every single Sunday. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.